When you reach that place where you just can't stop fighting with your wife or with your husband, it's really time to learn what you need to learn so that you can. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I'm going to try and give you some communication tips along the way. But really what I want to focus on with you is how to make your marriage fighting proof, argument proof, conflict proof. You see, it's like this. When we get married, we have it in the back of our mind, and our intuition tells us it's real, that this marriage, being with this person, your soulmate, is going to bring tremendous happiness. Isn't it true? And we know, we don't think it through, and this is probably the first time you're hearing this, but it'll ring true, that the only thing that universally brings happiness 100% of the time is that feeling of true love. Isn't that true? I know that it's true because I worked with hundreds of individuals and couples. I had a whiteboard because I used to be a divorce mediator before I started saving couples. And I would say, tell me why you got married. And then I'll tell you why I believe you got married. And if your answer is better than mine, in your opinion, I put the power in their hands. You don't have to pay for this session. And this is a long time ago. And the sessions then were expensive. They were $300. So they had a big incentive to come up with a good answer. And I would list them. And believe it or not, after a while, I could list them even before they spoke them, because we all pretty much get married for the same top of mind reasons. I fell in love. And then when I would say, no, I want to know why you got married. And then they would say, oh, I didn't want to be alone anymore. I wanted to be with a soulmate. I wanted all these great answers. I want to have children. And I said to them, the reason you really want to get married is you wanted to be happy. You wanted to be happier. And everyone went, yeah, I guess so. It's a little simplistic. It's a lot simplistic. But God didn't make marriage complicated. We get married because we want to be happy. And then the question is, and what makes us happy? Everyone is happy when they're experiencing love. It's really that simple. And then what happens is we get married and we forget that this person that we married makes us happy. We forget that the love we feel, not that they feel for us, but the love that we feel for them makes us happy. Well, you can't be sad. You can't be fighting with this person when you're experiencing love for them. Now, you might argue that, but you'd be wrong. I don't want to fight with you. The truth is, when you're actually experiencing love, fighting is nowhere to be seen. And so what I really stress for you is that when you're about to get into a fight, stop. Stop, not them. Stop your mind. Don't stop what you were about to say. Well, you do, but stop your mind. It's going down a rabbit hole of negativity. Even if it's in reaction mode, let's say they say something to you that causes you, but it's not you. Here I want you to separate, causes your mind to react. Why do I say that? Why do I say your mind instead of you? Well, let's go back to middle school when you learned about the drive to survive, self-preservation. Our mind is what lives according to the laws of self-preservation. We are not the mind. We have a mind. Who are we? What are we? Well, this is not a religious discussion, but we're the soul. Now, if you don't like that, you could say, well, I'm consciousness. Fine, good enough. But you're not your mind. How do I know? Because you can control your mind. You know, when I was a kid, they used to say, well, if I tell you don't think about elephants, you're going to think about elephants. That's not true. The fact is you have complete control over your mind. I mean, unless you're drunk or stoned or something, you have complete control over the mind. It's your mind. just like you have complete control over your body, to the degree that your body and mind are at that level of fitness. But if you practice control over the mind, it grows. It's a muscle, just like everything else. Your willpower is a muscle. And so when your mind is triggered, I hope you accept that it's not you, but your mind. Stop. Ask yourself, is my inner reaction, not what I'm about to say, but is my inner reaction going to infuse love and or happiness and or harmony into my marriage? Or is it going in the other direction? It's so logical, isn't it? When you make that effort to take over the process that's going on in your head, your whole life changes. And that is how you get rid of all of the fighting in your marriage. Now, there's more to it than that. I live by this principle that if your marriage is a container, and if that container is filled partially with dirt and partially with pure water, it's going to be murky. But the more pure water you push into this container, the less murkiness there will be. You'll be pushing out those particles of negativity, of unhappiness, of argumentativeness. You push those out with the purity of what? Of love. And that's what it's all about. I'm Paul Friedman. Now, I have a lot of things for you to choose from, and you ought to go to the website that we have, themarriagefoundation.org, and see all the offerings that we have. You'll be surprised. Because know that your marriage is meant to be filled with happiness, love, and harmony. I've written a couple of books. We have individual courses for men and for women. They're online. For saving your marriage if your marriage is in deep trouble. And of course, we have lots of articles and other free stuff. If you want to leave a comment, I invite you to do so. If you have a question for me, I invite you to leave that in the comment section. I'm so glad you stopped by. God bless you. Take care.